I have my document set up according to the directions. Margins and columns 1 inch top and bottom, and 7/8 of an inch left and right. So I'll go ahead and draw out my text box, which should pop right in and snap to my guides. Next, I'll go to the text frame options, and I'll inset it according to the instructions 7/8 of an inch all around. And now I'll fill it with text. The text I get here from the PDF in the student handout, I have selected all the text. I'll copy all the text. And here in my working document, I'll paste the text. One other thing I'll do is go back to my text frame options and center the text, aligned to the center. Now it's really just a matter of stroking the box and formatting the text. First, I'm going to fill the box with the color that they show in the example. One thing I've done here in the template is I've included the instructions which I extracted from their PDF. The instructions include a representation of the color. First, I'll fill my box with the color. In the directions, which I have included on the top layer of the template, there's a representation of the color in this example. I'll take my eyedropper tool and get a sample of the color. Now this says that it's a low resolution RGB proxy. If I wanted to change this to CMYK, I can go ahead and make a swatch out of it. Go to my swatches panel, and just change it to CMYK. And so with my box selected, I'll go ahead and fill it with that color. Next, the instructions tell us to stroke the box with a 6-point thick thin stroke. With my box selected, I'll get up the stroke palette, and I'll change this to a 6-point stroke, and I'll select a thick thin stroke. And I'll change it to a kind of a dark blue. I'll get it off my swatches panel. And now we're ready to style the text. I'll start with the headline. First, I'm going to start with all the text actually, and I'm going to change it to Minion so I don't have to keep bringing that up. Pro. Now for my first line, I'll look over to my instructions, which tell us here, Minion Pro bold 15/11, small caps, red fill, space after 1/4 of an inch. I'll change that to bold. Bring up my character. 15. Over 11. And small caps, I'll pop that up from the flyout menu. Small caps and red fill. And finally, I'll switch over to the paragraph panel and give it a space after of 1/4 of an inch. There's a quarter of an inch. So that's finished. So now I'll move on to my body copy. I'll select the body copy, Minion Pro regular. It says 10/12. 10/12 with a left indent of 1/2 inch. And a first line left out dent of -1/2 inch. And this is what pops it out. Next we want space after of 1/8 inch. Turn off hyphenation and balance ragged lines in the flyout menu. That pretty much sets up the basic formatting for this. So I'll go ahead and do the first paragraph, and then you can finish the project by doing the subsequent paragraphs the same way. So the first part of our paragraph is going to be Minion Pro Bold. So I'll select that text, change it from regular to bold. Then in the case of the number 1, it's to be 14/12. 14/12. And they want it to have a fill of blue. The first line, the first part of the line is going to be, again, small caps. The size is going to be 10/12, which is what it is now. Bold with a red fill. Next, the directions indicate that the space between the period and the capital T is going to be an EN space. EN space. We have 2 more things to do now in the first paragraph. The first of which is to put in a glyph for the S and the T. I select the 2, I go to my type, I go to glyphs, and I search through until I find the ST. There it is. Click on it. And lastly, we want the word exact to be italicized. Exactly. And that sets up the first paragraph. Now we can compare this to the template. The template, our piece, the template, our piece. And finally, one correction that I want to make. I didn't mention when I was setting up my stroke that it's aligned to the inside. This is very important because it'll throw everything off. I'm going to align my stroke panel up. And align it to the inside. The rest of the document pretty much follows what we've done, with the exception of the bottom. This text here, you're going to want to right align, put your own name in, and then hand it in.